If you're thinking about traveling to Spain with a drone, then in this video, I'm going to cover in detail about what all things you need to take care of before traveling to Spain with your drone. So stick around and let's get started. My name is Sankalp and you're watching Chasing Whereabouts, and if this is the first video which you have watched on my channel, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel because it helps me grow. And I create content around traveling in Europe, so stay tuned. Now, Spain is a kind of tricky one because you need a lot of preparation before traveling to Spain with a drone. So yes, this video is going to be divided into just a single part about getting your drone registered as a drone operator, how you can do the pilot license if you are carrying a drone which is more than 250 grams for free. And later, by the end, you will find out which places are the places where you can fly drone. Fly drone in Spain. So first thing first, let's talk about the legal requirements. So in Spain, the drone regulations are monitored by AESA, which is Spanish Aviation Security Agency, and it falls under EASA, which is European Union Aviation Safety Agency. So if your drone is already registered in any of the other places in Europe, you don't have to register as a drone operator in Spain because it falls under EASA. But in case if you're traveling to Spain as the first country, then you have to register your drone here because this is the place where you want to fly drone as a first when you're traveling. But if you want to know more about how to register as a drone operator in Germany, Croatia, Greece, all the videos are there in the description box, which I have already made, and you can check it out, where they have different sets of things, different websites, so you can check it out in the description box below. So let's talk about drone registration. When do you need to register your drone? So if your drone weighs less than 250 grams, but it has a camera on it, you have to register it. And if it weighs more than 250 grams, you have to register your drone. So that's pretty much clear about registering your drone. Now you can follow along with me to register yourself as a drone operator. Let's go. So in order to register your drone in Spain, you have to follow this along. So click on the link in the description box, which will take you to this particular website. Once you're here, you have to scroll down a bit and then you follow on a registration as an US operator with AESA. And yes, it's free of charge here. Link to the procedure. You click on the link. It takes you to this particular website. The best thing is that you do it with the Chrome browser because you can translate it into English. So you have to click on the online procedure. And then scroll down below. Create your account. So you will click on with digital certificate because you are doing it on your own behalf. So click here, then going to translate it into English so that I can understand everything. Type of person would be natural person. Then what type of activity or service do you need to perform? EASA. Nationality, we'll choose the nationality. For me, it will be from India. Then name, last name, and the passport number. Now we will leave the trade name option as an empty. We'll put the prefix and the phone number in there. Putting your email ID and then finally uploading your passport detail in here. Now just click on the I have read the legal notice, then put your password, repeat password, and then create your account. So that's how you can register as a drone operator in Spain. So I hope that you were able to follow me to register yourself as a drone operator. So I personally didn't register as a drone operator in Spain because my drone is already registered in Germany. But let's talk pretty much basic things about flying drone in Europe because you need to know about it. I know it can be a bit overwhelming because you have so many rules, but I will try to tone it down a bit so that you can understand. So the drones are divided into classes in Europe, which is class 0 to 4. And the categories are divided into categories like open, specific, and controlled. Now, we as a US operator, when we are traveling, we are mostly flying drone in the open category, which is further subdivided into subcategory called A1, A2, and A3. And A1, A2 and A3, which is particularly means that A1 you can fly over the people, but not over the mass of the people. A2 you can fly on the mass of the people, and A3 would be something like you can fly 150 meter away from the recreational unit, so far from the people. One core thing which you have to remember is that lower the class, lower the category, it's easier to fly drone because you have less approval you need. So once you have successfully registered as a drone operator, you will get a 16-digit operator ID, which you have to stick it on your drone at the top. Yes, it has to be there because it basically helps people to identify that who is the owner of the drone, and so that they can shoot a liability insurance case on you. Yeah, so with that being said, so as I said, the lower the class, the lower the category, it's kind of easier for you to get the approval to fly drone. Like I said, I own a Mavic Mini. So with Mavic Mini, it's kind of easy for me because I don't have to appear for the pilot license, because that's the next thing which you have to think about doing before coming to Europe, and if you don't own a pilot license in Europe. But in case if you want to learn more about this categories and the classes, then you can check it on my website, because I have covered in detail on my website, Chasing Without. So coming back to something which is important, what has changed in 2024. So now if you are the owner of drone, which you bought it sometime in the past in Europe, that drone does not have a class label on it. Like my drone does not have a class label on it. So if your drone does not have a class label on it, starting 2024, which is like this year, you cannot fly it in A2 category. Even though if your weight of the drone falls in the A2 category, you still cannot fly it. So there is just two categories for you. Either you can fly it in A1 category or A3 category. So all the drone operators which does not have a class on it has to think about this particular thing when they are coming. So regarding the pilot license, it is important, and you can check out this particular video where I have talked in depth about how you can get a pilot license for free in Europe, because Germany is charging for it for 25 euros. So you can follow it along, and that would be for the pilot license. Now, do you need a liability insurance in Spain? Yes, you need it. Now, one little trick which I do is, since I'm living in Germany, I normally have a liability insurance, but my liability insurance doesn't cover drone on it. So when I'm traveling to any of the places, I buy the liability insurance, and then when I come back, I just cancel it. So it's like for 1 month, I get a liability insurance which covers the drone operation. It costs me around 6 to 7 euro roughly, and I personally buy it from GetSafe. So the link of that is in the description box below. You can check it out, but basically you can buy any of the liability insurance which covers the drone operation on it in Europe. Now coming to the point about where you can fly drone in Spain. So now Spain has an application called ENAIRE, ENAIRE, link in the description box. You can go to that particular application, search for the location, and then you can finally find out where you can fly. I mean, it gives you the restriction saying that whether you can fly it or not. We will cover in detail about it further down in the video, but it's something like this. But so it's not like in Spain you can directly fly anywhere. So there are regions where you can fly it without approval, but in most of the places where you want to fly, something like Barcelona or Costa Brava, I mean in the residential area, you have to get an approval from the ministry for it. And funny thing, it takes you 5 days to get the approval from the ministry per flight. So how many flights you want to do, you have to specifically reach out to them to get the approval. So minimum you need 5 days before the flight date when you want to fly a drone in Spain. So think about it when you're traveling to a place. Plan it and then get the approval. So let's take a look further how you can get the approval for flying drone in Spain and what you need to take care about. Also, I have covered this topic in detail on my website, so you can check it on my website, what steps you have to follow for flying drone, for getting approval for flying drone in Spain. You can check it out. So once you click on the link in the description box, it will take you to the ENAIRE drones website. And when you're here, just search for the place where you want to fly. For example, I want to fly in Tossa de Mar, which is in Costa Brava. You can see. So when you click on the red zone, it's basically those areas where it's not exactly approved to fly. So for example, when I clicked in here next to Tosa de Mar, it just mentioned along with getting the approval from the ministry, you also have to check whether you can fly drone or not, because it is a US geographical zone restricted for environmental protection. It says you are in the bird special protection area. You must consult possible restriction or specific authority, and there is a website given in here about that. In general, when you click on any of the white spaces, the only approval which you need is the approval from the ministry, because if you're flying it near the people or in the residential zone, so that's the only approval you need. So when you want to contact the Ministry of Interior, you just click on the link. It takes you to the Ministry of Interior, communication of the remotely piloted aircraft operation in urban environments or over concentration of people. That's the form. When you just scroll down in the download section, you will get the form, which is like this. Okay, that's a 4-page form which you have to fill it up, and you have to use your Google Translate in order to do that. So this was all the information which you need for flying drone in Spain. And if you have any question about flying drone in Spain, then don't forget to reach out to me in the comment box below. And if you have not subscribed to my channel, then consider subscribing it. And I will see you in the next one. Bye. Was it the fire burning in me?